Here. Okay. So welcome everybody to another episode of Ability Now with our own CeCe Carr. I do every first Saturday of the month at 5 o'clock Eastern. So over to you, CeCe.
Hello, everyone. I am back in Atlanta. Good to see everyone. My name is CeCe. I'm known as the podcast host of the first Saturday of each month from 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to, or 5 o'clock Eastern Standard, 4 p.m. Central Standard. So today is another day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. When I first started this adventure, it was probably a couple of years ago or more regarding unhabitable conditions, long-term deprivation of public potable water services, as well as infrastructure failure ongoing at Viewpoint East Condominiums. And I don't want to be the face of it, but I will say this: everyone has a voice. And when you have a voice, that means God gave you the ability to talk. So God has given me the ability to gab naturally. And today I'll be showing a lot of pictures. And this picture is okay when you don't have public access to potable water. And in our case, Viewpoint East Condominiums charges us $275 a month for HOA fees, which includes water, sewage, amenities. And in our case, they still collected this $275 a month. And there were multiple condominiums that did not have access to potable water because of busted water lines. So I reached out to the city of Conyers. That includes the mayor, city attorney, all of the city councilmen, city council women, and that began in February the 8th, 2023. And you can see what was said to me. And this is a photocopy of what was said to me. One of it was the city of Conyers, as well as Congress, the mayor at that time. The current mayor was a city council woman at that time. And so she was aware of ongoing deprivation of potable water, public utility services to seniors, disabled, and children. So these are some of the pictures that I took as evidence, showing that the city of Conyers, who charges us hefty property taxes, and they have not ensured that everybody has access to potable water. And our public water authority has locked their water resources. So these are plumbers, Liberty plumbers, who came out to confirm that there was a breached sewer line as well as infrastructure failure. This is Liberty Plumbing Services. This is back in September of 2021. See, and this is some of the equipment that was used. Camera, outside, these are outside public water lines. And this right here is pictures of building 1504 Pine Log Road. This is busted potable water lines, which you had to have a permit to do so. So there was no permit issued. So the property has been uninhabitable since prior to 2023. That means January the 17th, on or about January 17th, 2023, potable water services were terminated, not by the Public Water Authority, which is Rockdale Water Resources. So Rockdale Water Resources should have, under their policies, UDI policies, should have come out and restored public potable water services to 1504 Pine Log Road, Conyers, Georgia. Bear in mind, we are still paying HOA fees, $275 a month, and not getting access to potable water service. See, this is about 12 inches away. And these are documents that have been submitted along with the HOA bylaws, declarations that clearly state potable water services are provided by the HOA and paid with the HOA fees, $275 a month. But yet, they are not only charging us for potable water, they allowed a contractor to collect even more money. So this is a picture of the tampered public water utilities, 1504 Pine Log Road, Conyers, Georgia, 30012. Supporting documentation is this right here. And yet, we're still making mortgage payments. EHH Mortgage Services, like to change his name to Onity, Aquin, New Res. They're all the same company with the same EIN number, collecting mortgage payments on property that is non-functional. These are some of the checks, cashier's checks that were cashed by both HOA, $275 a month, and PHH Mortgage Service. They collected HOA fees and mortgage on property that was uninhabitable since prior to 2013. This is what the property exterior looked like. And yet we had somebody come out and sign off on a house inspection back on May the 10th, or between May the 5th and May the 16th, 2023, saying that the property was habitable. So there's faulty habitable claims. And this is a Rockdale Water Resources bill showing $26,000 a month for public utilities for only 18 buildings. Quite a lot of money for infrastructure failure. We have county commissioners involved that should have resolved this. These are elected officials, and they're charging us property taxes for property that's uninhabitable. We don't have private water. Our water is Rockdale Water Resources. These are all bills for Viewpoint East Condominiums, Rockdale Water Resources, via the master meter. So we're supposed to have public utilities, clean water, access to Sanitation services, not only did we not have sanitation services, many people lost their homes, forced into selling their homes or foreclosure. And of course, they were only allowing investors who paid cash for condominium, cash only. But yet, no potable water, no sewage services for those who said, hey, I'm gonna pay the HOA fees, like we agreed. And we, of course, we could not comply with that because we have mortgage. And if we would have modified the public utilities, that sends us into immediate foreclosure. So since I didn't sign a contract with a third party contractor who was not an authorized public water authority through Rockdale Water Resources, my property, the property God blessed me with, stayed in compliance with the mortgage law since it had a mortgage. So these are Viewpoint East minutes back in 2020, 2019 that says HOA fees include public water, sewage, and everything. And quote unquote, on page 4, the HOA pays the entire community's water service. See this right here? And that was signed. I don't know if she's still the president of the HOA, but she signed her name, Karen Faye Travis. Okay. We have a forensic strategy right here, 2015. See this right here. We have stated, we have the National Credit Union Administration. We have Navy Federal Credit Union who participated in allowing a faulty we call it inspection happen and denied multiple applications for HELOCs. We've contacted the Consumer Financial Protection Services, and of course, they just kind of say, oh, we didn't get the information or whatever. We've contacted the Ombudsman's Office, U.S. Department of DOJ, Department of Justice, Georgia Legislative Oversight Committee of Banking and Lending. We've contacted the HOA board members who just like to make accusations about the owners yelling. There's all evidence right here. We've had prepaid legal services, Legal Shield, draft letters, talking about the busted water lines. We've had affidavits to dissolve HOA for malfeasance, for failure to provide essential services, all grounds to dissolve HOA because they displace folk, deprivation of public potable water services, something else. We've got file restrictions. So whenever we'll file a claim, we didn't have enough. They got a lot of Amber Alerts going on. And so we've got all this going. Plus affected properties, multiple. Guy next door to me, 1504C, Pine Lark Road, pay cash for his property. Never paid any HOA fees. None whatsoever. Max Pets. He was the one allowed to buy property for cash. It was a cash cow for him. Renting out, and he rented out used non these properties were non-habitable, yet he had people living in them. Well, ongoing review. I think there should be a forensic inspection of everything outside. That includes common areas. At one time, we've had Foremost Insurance Company, Foremost Policy. We have had all these kind of things, insurance coverage, dated back to prior to 2017. Plenty of coverages. We even got subrogation going on with my insurance carrier because I was sick, because exposure to ongoing toxins. You would think you had a little integrity. Robbing people from their own, displacing people from their own homes. These all insurance policies, coverage. This is the reason why we have coverage, insurance coverage. To take care of us. We contact the insurance carrier. But the HOA board members decide on their own. Nope. We're gonna withdraw claims, legitimate claims, and collect HOA fees, and cause people to have medical problems, have to go to the hospital multiple times. I'm sure some people passed away prematurely because of this malfeasance. Portfolio, Viewpoint East Condominiums. Say yourself. Integrity. We have to have a habitable program. What this says, habitable, without potable water services, it's not habitable. We've contacted timeline. We had timeline prior to 2019. We had multiple insurance carriers. This is like, really? We got the condominium endorsements. This is what you call forensic report, ties in everything. Ties in HOA presidents, Don Carper Knight, communicating directly with the Hartford regarding a sewer claim. She communicated July 2019. A camera inspection in 2021, September the 7th or 8th, documented roots in the main sewer line, servicing multiple condominiums. That means building 1496, building 1500, and building 1504. City council members include Valencia Smith and includes Carrie Bootcheck. The chief of police are Scott Freeman, as well as other Ainsley. Gerald Heisley was on the board of City Council of Conyers for well over 20 years, and he works for a company that's connected to Papermaker. That means proc. So all of this, and we also include a Form 1076, which was completed by real estate agent, HOA treasurer Cynthia Banks on April 10th, 2023, which has a faulty claim of habitability. And in her paperwork, she says a lot, but basically, Don Carper Knight, I don't know if she's related to a Richard Marcus Knight who signed off on an inspection, faulty inspection on May the 3rd through the 16th, 2023. These representatives misrepresented the truth. And on top of that, there were reoccurring sewer backups, tree root intrusion, common sewer line failures, plumbing defects, not related to the inside of condominiums, insurance related issues, storm water issues, habitability or uninhabitable conditions, abuse of authority, and infrastructure deficiencies affecting multiple non-functional condominiums, including 1504B, 1504C, Pine Log Road. Written notice was provided years before January the 17th, 2023. It's been a long-term deprivation of sewer and water services, and years before subsequent displacement. It was ongoing displacement, insurance denials, property impairment conditions. By May 31st, 2019, Don Carper, and that's Don Carper Knight, and other board members had received direct written notice specifically identifying reoccurring sewer backups, neglected maintenance of the common sewer line, tree roots affecting common main sewer lines, concerns regarding the HOA decision-making, insurance denials, withdrawals, and a need for repairs to aging plumbing infrastructure rather than temporary measures. So, this was going on. And this is not a civil issue. It's not an HOA dispute. It's not even, the issue is not even like a notice. The HOA Association, Viewpoint East Condominiums, is responsible for maintaining the common areas. That includes sewer line, infrastructure. This is the reason why we pay $275 a month. And there's multiple people who were negligent. That includes Sherry L. Washington, who used to be a overseer over Public Water Authority, Rockdale Water Resources, and she now is advisor for the city of Conyers. And these maintenance decisions were not managed properly, and it also caused multiple families to be displaced due to negligence. Reason why we have policies. Hopefully, and it also caused people to have to go to prison. And one of the gentlemen's his name was Charles Roberts Walsh. He was charged with an uninhabitable condition, but it was called failure to maintain orderly home. So that's it's a felony, and this is Sherry Washington cashing checks for or attorney services that she didn't provide. Cashier's checks and everything. And she has not made any efforts to return the money that she received in deceit. That's called theft by deception. We reached out to Navy Federal Credit Union already and requested a refund. So they have not done so yet. But this request has been in for a couple of years now. So, and they keep continuing cashing these cashier check or holding them back now, saying they didn't get the money and all this other stuff. And they're sent certified return receipt, either U.S. Postal Service, by maybe Federal Credit Union, or some other means, and they have rejected checks. So at the end of the day, documentation matters. And when you tell the truth and you have integrity, God makes a way. This is an altered insurance policy. This is Viewpoint East Condominiums, the Harper. Another policy. It includes commercial policy, which should have restored all the public water authority of public water lines that were busted, not taken care of, all kind of things that went unresolved. And sometimes we had to go back and do this again, do the reports all over again, because we weren't getting any response. We have insurance coverage from our own personal. That was denied also. Here is policy. Here's the right there, water resources. Viewpoint East Condominiums. And multiple documents. This is the Form 1076. This is kind of like interesting. How can you say the property is habitable and you know you didn't cut the water off there for a few people, bust the water lines? I'm just saying. Nobody want to get involved. Well, this is why we have documentation. Some more documentation. And we're going live. Says Strong Insurance. Strong Insurance is a carrier. It's called Oakwood Insurance Management Company in a project name. This is what fraud is all about. But when you have integrity, God will let you locate all of it. This was a false claim for habitability. If they collect the monies for services they didn't provide. And of course, I'm paying a mortgage from THH Mortgage Service. They folks ratchet. They ratchet. And they don't even care. They'll return your emails saying, oh, we're so sorry. Knowing that you have reported RESPA, you reported all kind of things. But what I can say is a forensic inspector like myself will locate American leak detectors reports. See this right here? These are all documentations, including receipts American leak detectors, they are licensed civil engineering, insurance, and environmental forensic. There's perspective. We also had a company by the name of ATAE, Environmental Compliance Review, CCTV, diagnostics, telemetry, confirmed critical pipe occu- uh, uh, occlusion, structural degrading, reduced hydraulic diameter, wastewater flow impairment, stagnation, pathogen risk, sanitation deprivation, and habitability failure. Rockdale Water Resources remains the sole public water authority. Policies and standards that's supposed to confirm that water and sewer infrastructure must comply with federal, state, and local measures, requiring approved construction procedures as built verification, proper maintenance responsibility, pressure leak testing, disinfection, disinfection, and restoration of disturbed work areas. The insurance claims record also reflects ongoing long-running misclassification involving common area sewer line responsibility, insurance denials, withdrawal issues, HOA failure to maintain the common sewer line, water and sewer service impairment, double billing, slab leaks, contaminated water, and substantial infrastructure loss estimates. This is not a cosmetic or isolated issue. The photographs and records support systemic failure pattern involving water, wastewater, sanitation, habitability, unhabitability, public health exposure, property damage, insurance coverage, mortgage and escrow consequences, and regulatory compliance. This was dated earlier this year. We requested preservation and production of all records, including work orders, inspections, permits, plumbing, invoices, water and sewer test results, CCTV, sewer video, insurance claim file, HOA communications, utility records, contractor records, photographs, adjuster notes, escrow records, and all metadata. No party should classify this matter as a routine maintenance until a licensed civil engineer, qualified water professional, environmental inspector, forensic environmental inspector, and a forensic insurance inspector to complete a written forensic investigation. This is something else. So, what I can say is claims for damages were requested multiple times. We read letters up and down everything. We read letters to Rockdale Water Resources, Cobb County Water Resources, Best Western, we had stayed in hotels a lot, HUD complaints, evidence, RESPA violations, that's what the mortgage company called Auckland Loan Services, Oddity, New Res, PHH Mortgage Services, PHH Mortgage Corporation, same EIN number 22-219-5996. It involves credit, Their new successor, all same EIN number, same address, same federal employer identification number. Failure to adequately respond to borrowers' requests for information. Failure to provide complete servicing records. 1098s. The value, the mortgage didn't go down by maybe $100 each year, and we're paying a lot for escrow. Failure to provide complete escrow accounting records. Failure to properly investigate borrower disputes. Failure to provide timely written responses to qualified written requests and notices of error. Failure to properly account for escrow funds. Failure to provide adequate annual escrow statements. Failure to disclose all escrow disbursements. Amongst all, this is a mortgage service. Another thing, failure to improper administration of taxes and insurance payments, failure to maintain accurate escrow balances, application of funds, also the violations under Fair Credit Reporting Act. Violations include reporting inaccurate information, reporting misleading creditor information, reporting duplicate or inconsistent trade lines, failure to conduct a reasonable investigation after notice of dispute, reporting information that is incomplete, inaccurate, misleading, or unverifiable. This is under credit reporting dispute, forensic review of evidentiary records, reflects on the Form 1098, taxes 2021, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, identify the same mortgage loan, same borrower, same property, same EIN, TIN number. This is all PHA's Mortgage Corporation. All these duplicate recordings, inaccurate account history, all this. We got that. We got reporting created this false reporting created a misleading appearance of separate servicing entities because they did not switch mortgage companies. This false reporting created a misleading appearance of separate creditors when they're all the same company. Reporting created a misleading appearance of separate mortgage obligation, inaccurate foreclosure history, inaccurate collection history, inaccurate delinquency history. The record also includes documented payments tendered, received, deposited, and negotiated by PHH Mortgage Services and Viewpoint East Condominiums. Any reporting suggesting non-payment, delinquencies, default, foreclosure, collection status, charge-off status, account closure, or any other adverse account history is disputed where such reporting fails to account for documented payments and ongoing disputes involving the property, essential public utilities, escrow, insurance, and non-habitability. The record further reflects ongoing deprivation of potable water services and sanitation services, ongoing infrastructure failure, property impairment, functional property. These involve Viewpoint East Condominium Association while payments continue to be accepted and retained. These facts are relevant to credit reporting, account status, dispute investigation, and consumer file accuracy. The Fair Credit Reporting Act, 15 U.S.C. 1681, request is made for reasonable reinvestigation, including forensic inspections of loans. Request is made for deletion, for correction, suppression, or modification of all information that is inaccurate, incomplete, misleading, duplicative, unverifiable, or reported in a manner creating a false impression regarding servicer identity, account ownership, account closure, payment history, delinquency, foreclosure, collection activity, escrow status, or mortgage obligation. And that's something. I'm almost sleepy. We only got 20 minutes left. We got all this information, including policy, contacted Credit Karma, TransUnion, Equifax, Experian, all this. We requested subrogation inquiry, especially because of this biolab fire, chlorine release, chlorine plume. We also had State Farm loss 11-3242-Q35, data loss, March 8th, 2018. This has been a long time coming. We have fought the faith. We trust in the Lord with all of our heart. Lean not unto our own understanding. We requested hardship letters. What I can say is God gets the glory. And anything can be resolved with Christ who strengthens us. And tell you a story. People like these who have no badge, have no credentials, came in the picture aggressively, asking questions with no ID in the hospital, no credentials. This is the gentleman, Daniel Jemison. His card was thrown at me after he failed to provide any ID. He just had this card all shaking like this. I knew he wasn't supposed to be there. He couldn't produce no credentials. So then try to cover up because police was called because this gentleman didn't have no ID. And he was very aggressive towards me and kept asking questions without having anything documented in writing. These are hotels that I've had to stay at. Stayed at Marriott Fairfield because they have breakfast, they have handicap rooms, but they too do horrid things to people, like lock people out of their room and they don't have the keys to their vehicle, house, nothing. All locked in the room. Their personal information, food, everything, clothes. And since I was trained by a person who had a degree in public health, taught me all about infrastructure failure. And as inspector for the federal government, I went to report writing school. They sent me to report writing school. So forensic report writing became one of my gifts. So we got some more information. But what I'm going to do is tell the story. Tell the story. Like the Baby Brunch, tell the story. And these are insurance payments made out from State Farm back in 2018. This is a 2021 policy. This is Viewpoint East Condominium liability claim. We got some more stuff coming. This document was provided by Frederick Miles, who was an adjuster for, I don't know, or what we see with Travelers Insurance, denied claims, knowing that American leak detectors confirmed infrastructure failure. Get out. Infrastructure is that 1504. I know road. Multiple remodels. That's why y'all see people. Multiple clean out. So they had to clean out. Why they removed that? Does this home have a clean out? Condominium. Yes. Where is it at now? Modified. This is belly, infrastructure failure, tree roots. This was conducted by engineers, civil engineers. Explain to me why. Had to go to the hospital, multiple sicknesses, Graves' disease. Terrible. This is an engineering report showing posted line. Hospital didn't even want to go see us, kicking us out of the hospital. What kind of stuff is that? Making up excuses, having security remove me out the hospital. This is Johns Creek. I can't make this up. Johns Creek, Georgia. Supposed to have one of the most best cares out there. But documentation matters. Sure does. Because I received a letter back in 2021, estimate from Ronnie Scott. He used to live next door. He knew about this problem. Existing structure. Trying to fix things from the inside out, when really it was from the outside in. We went to magistrate court. You're like, really? Good behavior bonds. Like, really? Veteran stories. You're like, facts sent to mortgage servicer. You're thinking to yourself, I did everything right. Be grateful. This is Georgia property owners. It's the Act, Condominium Act, OCGA 44-3-220 to OCGA 44-3-35. Requires HOA by water authority, provide water services. And everything I say may not be correct, but the documentation is here. May not say it the right way. She can't count that against me because I am not agreeing to any of this information being used for defense or negligent issues. I'm hungry today and thirsty. Thirsty for water. I think I drank some water. And okay. Okay. Do another one. Okay. We're trying to do a view. Okay. How do you do this? Audio. Oh, okay. Well, I thought I was on. Here it is. I thought I was on. Here it is. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, we back. Oh, we back on. We back on. Hello. We back on. Join. Join us. See, we got that going on. So we're just talking about letters we sent out, information we sent out, state laws and compliance, administrative entities identified in administrative record, and multiple policies denied. Yep. And we got a letter from Deming, Parker, and Hoffman. This is Legal Shield. Said that already. Resolve this. This is 2020. Like, really? And this is back in 2024 when Chairman Oz was involved. Talks about City of Conyers Code 18-1, utility interruptions to be authorized and conducted according to city procedures. This third-party contractor lacked proper city authorization, clear violation of ordinance, City of Conyers. Okay, admit. And this is Conyers Code 18-4 mandates procedural requirements for disconnecting utility services, including adequate notice to residents, which we weren't, failure to provide such notice or proper authorization constitutes another breach. Conyers Code 18-5 outlines penalties for violations of utility service regulations, the unauthorized disconnection, subjects the responsible parties to those penalties. This is the state public law violated. Georgia Code 31-3-4 ensures water services are maintained to protect public health. The unauthorized termination exposed residents to unsanitary conditions, compromising their health. Georgia Code 31-33-1 mandates maintenance of public potable water services, essential services including water to safeguard public health. The failure to provide water services due to this unauthorized ongoing disconnection, ongoing displacement, ongoing elder abuse, posed a direct threat to residents' health. As public officials, they all have an oath to serve with integrity and uphold the law. According to Georgia Constitution, elected officials, public officers act as trustees and servants of all the people, managing public resources for the benefit of all. The fiduciary duty is critical, especially in ensuring that potable water services, essential services, sanitation services are not unjustly interrupted. The need for immediate action from Rockdale Water Resources Department, who is responsible for ensuring water reaches our community, given given the clear violations of laws and ordinances, I had urged, this is right there, Board of Commissioners, which includes Janice Van Ness and the other two that are on there now, Doreen Carter and Miss Tawana Smith. I urge the board and the attorney Bayek, or whoever the county attorney is now, to take immediate actions to restore services. This was written back in 2024. And this is to immediately restore water services to several residents at Viewpoint East Condominiums. This action is not a matter of legal compliance, but a fundamental duty to protect the health and well-being of our residents. I call upon them to address these breaches decisively, immediately, and restore potable water services immediately. Our community's health and safety depend on your response. So I'm saying, I've been talking till 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock. And I think I'm finished today. And I'm grateful that God saw me through another opportunity to document truth. So it's 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I forgot to interview anybody else today because I've been traveling. Misrepresentation, all this stuff. Documentation matters. And when you don't know what to do, you always trust God to bring you through. And we even have bylaws that say public potable water services is provided. And this has been a long 2 years or more, 3 years now, more, 3 years or more, of having to deal with deprivation of potable services, sanitation services, staying in hotels, spending money that was unplanned. Count it all joy because integrity costs. Having integrity is something that you have it or you don't. So it is 5:02 p.m. Today is August the 2nd, 2023. Or 2026. August the 1st, 2026. I'd like to thank everyone who joined me today. I thank everyone for listening to this later on. It's quite a bit of information, but it might help someone.